All right, I am live. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me okay before I start babbling my mouth. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Hey, so can you guys hear me? Is my voice okay? No double voice, no overlapping voice. Okay, all right. So, guys, today we are going to be discussing the Leo rising in your Navamsa chart and the D9 chart. Okay, and yes, I do look tired. I am very tired because I've been waking up at 5:36 a.m. in the morning now. And the thing is, I usually go to sleep now around 9:30, 10. But the thing is, I've been working, and the reason why I'm waking up early because I'm working on this project, which I'm hoping to finish, 2, 3 weeks. You guys will know because hey, I'm doing it for here, so eventually you guys will know what the project is. But yes, I'm tired, but you know, as promised, I have to keep up my schedule and do the things that I say I'm going to do, which is to make this video. So Leo rising in Navamsa chart. So Leo Navamsa will occur in the first padha of a fire, earth, and water ascendant. So a fire, earth, and water ascendant. What does that mean? In your main birth chart, if you have ascendant like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or earth ascendant like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or water ascendant like Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, it will land you in the Leo Navamsha. So one thing we see here, okay, is that whenever the fire transfers into fire, because you got a fire ascendant, in Navamsha you got a fire ascendant, and just to recap, Navamsha chart in Vedic astrology is one of the most important charts. It shows the heart of the planets, meaning the inner working of the planet. So your planets can look all strong in the birth chart, but if the big bodybuilder has a weak heart, they may not last long, no matter how good and big they look. That's why Navamsha is just critically important. Why is it that your debilitated moon gives such great results in his dasha? Why, a crunched up Mars with malefics may suddenly inspire you to become something big? Look at the Navamsha. So that's what Navamsha is. It's a D9 chart, and it's for all the new people who do not know what their Navamsha chart is, what their ascendant is in the Navamsha. Go to my website, astrologycares.com, where under the shop section, you'll see on option 5 and below, where you'll get the report. On the second page, you'll have Navamsha chart showing the ascendant. And especially now, because I started the Navamsha series, since you guys requested that, I'm also doing like the D1 to D9 transformation reading. What's happening with the nakshatras and the planets going from the birth to D9. So that's on my website. So fire ascendant, as you know, is an ascendant that really is created, made for creation. Like creation. Think of creation. What is creation? Creation is Brahma. And it's a strange fact that Brahma is never worshipped. Brahma is never worshipped in the Hindu culture. That's due to the fact he was cursed by a goddess. And I pretty much forgot the story once I read it, but it's something to do with that. So one thing we see, because this is a Brahma, the Agni, the fire that created everything, it shows that a person's inspiration from birth to death will not die. It may become from being adventurous to philosophical, inspired through philosophy and religion, or being very strong and impulsive to a more creative fire. That will stay the same. But one thing you understand whenever you see fire and fire birth to Navamsha is that a person, and remember what I just said, a person will not be appreciated as much, but their work will be the most essential work that you will need in this life. Without their work, you cannot survive. So if Brahma did not create this universe, you and I wouldn't be here. You and I wouldn't be talking about Brahma. Same thing happens. This person is that uh, personification of Brahma. So they're creating things, they're doing things in the world, they're giving things to people that will last them a lifetime. But there's no like statue, there's no like appreciation. And I wouldn't say appreciation is like um, they really kind of linger on in the backside with their fire. That's one of the things that happen. And this doesn't happen with every fire ascendant. Only because fire is transforming into fire, the fire is still becoming the same. So that's the first thing we see. From the earth to fire, we see that through stability, through having stability in your birth life, your main life, where you seek for stability, security, status, leads you to inspiration. And also remember, Navamsha is a marriage chart. Navamsha shows your behavior in the marriage, how marriage changes you, what marriage brings about. Besides the heart of the planet, it's also the second half of life, it's also the marriage. And with the Cancer, it shows that through dealing with certain emotions, maybe certain psychological backlogs, through dealing with giving yourself away. Because remember, water replenishes us, quenches our thirst. Without water, we cannot survive. Without earth, we may survive. We can still be in the airplane, as we all are. When we travel on air, we survive. We land, we come back on earth. But if you're thirsty and you don't have that water on the plane, it's going to be the most miserable flight for you. So it shows that by giving yourself, by nurturing things, by dealing with emotions, you know, by being very intuitive, being very linked to nature, you find your inspiration, you find your fire in the second half of life. Okay? So that's a very, very basic foundational meaning of this. Very basic. Now, when we go to the actual Leo Navamsha, the first thing that we see that in the second half of life, or especially is more like from the age of 36 onwards, the person suddenly find their boldness. They suddenly find their inspiration and fire. You know, your high school friend who was shy with the thick glasses, skinny nerd. You see them at the age of 40. You're like, who is this Adonis? Who is this, macho man? Or who is this girl that was like so shy? And now she's like a beauty queen and now she's in the politics. What's happening here? What happened to you? What did you eat for breakfast? So what happens is these people suddenly find their inspiration in life. Especially like if we consider, let's say, water ascendant or Taurus ascendant, people who are more introverted, they find their light, they find their ego. They love dealing in kingly places. They love being treated regally and royally. They may not admit it, they may not say it, but they like to go to the fine restaurants. They like to be invited to events. So one thing about you see with Leo Ascendant in Navamsha, they like to be invited to events. They want to be coming to a certain event where they can meet other powerful people. So that's one of the main things we see. And most definitely, a Leo Navamsha will be a very romantic person. They know how to romance. They know how to keep up that fire within the marriage. So you know what? 78, your grandfather and grandmother are, always kind of busy. Hey, that's that person. That's those people. They're inspired, they're romantic, and especially for this particular Navamsha, children hold a very, very important role, important part in their life. For them, marriage is a way to not only push forward their lineage that they so want to, but it's in a way for them to feel natural in their habitat because of the fact they want to have the lion pride. This is so simple. All you have to do is study the lion to understand this ascendant. Study the lion. Who are they? What are they? Okay. And one of the things you will see, especially with a male Leo ascendant in Navamsha, that without their spouse, they cannot find them, they will not find their inspiration, their courage, their success, their wealth. Or if it's not the spouse, it has to be a certain woman in their life that will help them. So even if, let's say, you're unmarried and single, there would be a woman who will help you and bring you opportunities. Why am I saying this? Who hunts in the pride? It's the lioness. The lioness goes out and hunts and brings the food back to the lion. Lion cannot hunt. Lion has to hunt in desperate situations. So that means your spouse actually will be the catalyst for your success. In a female's chart, very, very independent woman who's able to take care of any situation that comes in. Leo Navamsha person will be like, all right, what do I need to do? Okay, you lost your job, my husband. All right, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let me look for a job right now till you get your next job, and I'm gonna make all my contacts so I can go back to work. They'll be on it. They'll be out there trying to hunt for the food. And such people within the context of Navamsha. When I say context of Navamsha, meaning their second life with or without marriage. Because I know everybody complains, oh, you don't talk about people who are single. So remember, this is either way. Such people become very careful and stingy with their money. They're very careful. Sure, they may be driving in the most expensive cars, fancy cars, but that fancy car only came about because they calculated everything. So let's say if this person is making $100,000 a year. After taxes, they're, let's say, making $75,000 a year. And you see them driving an S-Class Mercedes, which is $100,000 car. You'll be thinking, what a stupid person to be making only the money, the salary, which is equivalent to a car. How can you do that? But you don't then realize they're calculating. They're like, okay, so I have worked for 5 years. I have saved up all this money and I've got the down payment for this. And then what I will do, I will lease the car. By giving this $6,000 down, my payments will only be $800 a month. And because I've saved up this much and my job is secure, my business is doing this, I'll do it. And then what I'll do is I will cut my cable, I will cut this, I will cut that. They're very calculative, so don't think that there might be all their lavish things is just something that they're wasting money on. They're very calculative with their money. They're always asking their family member, oh, where are you going? How much are you spending? Okay, so we have like only this much in our account. Just remember that. They keep doing that. They've become very, very critical and detail oriented with their assets, with their money. But also what happens with Leo Ascendant, their family becomes that healing. Whenever they're down, whenever they are in a stressful situation, whenever anything happens, they seek family, their pride, to come and surround them because they feel healed. And naturally, such people become very dynamic and creative. And naturally, in the second half of life, most of them that I've known of, most of them that I have even given, let's say, Navamsha reading to, they suddenly had interest towards filmmaking. They had interest towards filmmaking, documentary making, or they start watching a lot of movies. And efforts, okay? their efforts are like butter on bread. One's effort is like they going into a coal mine and looking for a diamond, and these people effort is that their effort is only put in. They take a piece of bread and they put butter, and that's the effort that they put in the marriage. Because of the fact their marriage is filled with so much pride, so much romance, love, so much busyness, that things work out in a very pleasant way. Now remember, I'm not talking about any planets. This is bare foundation. So most will experience this. Most will experience this. Their communication within the marriage is very soft. They like to listen to the other person. The lion will listen to the lioness will listen to the lion. And they will have a very balanced approach on how to communicate, how to really work things out. And one thing though we see, okay, one thing though we see that with the Leo Navamsha, okay, now this could be, you may call it a little negative. So if you don't want to hear, you might want to mute your, computers. But I gotta tell you, and I'm not telling the wholehearted negative thing, just you know, but there's always karma to pay with the mother after marriage. Either your spouse and your mother do not get along, or, and this may not be a negative thing, where you suddenly have to take care of your mother and her health. Within the home, there's always transformation, changes that come in unexpectedly. So you may just, let's say you just moved into a property, and within a year and a half, you have to buy a new home. You have to move. Suddenly you got a job transfer. So now the entire home life is going to be transformed. You're going from Himachal Pradesh to, uh, to Madhya Pradesh. You're going from India to Tamil Nadu. You're going from, California to Chicago. Completely new set of people, completely new set of city and culture. And usually these people always are very secretive about their hoarded wealth. Like usually in India, people have cabinets, people have, what is it called, tijori, meaning like a safe. They always tend to have unaccounted wealth in there, hidden wealth. Something they may never tell anybody except the spouse and the husband will know. So they have that. Um, Such people become, especially when it comes to their ability to deal with problems in a marriage. Okay. Like I was telling you about the effort. Whenever they have to deal with any, first of all, they have the least amount of issues and problems, but when they do, they are extremely intelligent in how to deal with the marriage situation. They're good. They find the spiritual method, philosophical method. Somehow, some way, they are able to convince the spouse to come out of their, uh, you know, isolation from them, or to let go of the fight that they just had. But usually, the spouse will always be inspired when they hear you, no matter how much bad of a fight you had. When you try to talk to them about the situation, they'll be like, okay, 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 she makes sense. Yeah, we shouldn't be fighting. Um, these people, very, very opportunistic, but also very careful with their debt. If they see an opportunity as a couple, or especially when this person, the individual, sees an opportunity to invest in something, but that investment will require to take a debt, they will take that debt because they seek that opportunity. But at the same time, if they have debts, those debts will always be paid off through their professional sources. So somebody is, let's say, in $100,000 debt. You don't know what's going on, and how do I pay for it? Somehow, some way, somebody from your professional life or linkage will somehow give you an idea how to pay that debt off. Somebody may even give you money. Um, but the thing is, your spouse themselves and your marriage is very eccentric in nature. Is like if you are a CEO, your spouse will be a hippie. If you are a politician, your spouse will be like a musician. And I'm not saying profession wise, I'm saying the outlook on life. Meaning, like, what is your view on life, politics, religion, versus your wife will be so eccentric that you'll be like, wow, okay, okay. So you will always have these contradicting views. This doesn't mean you're fighting. Like you could be a Republican or a Democrat, but your spouse might be a libertarian, a Green Party, some party you never even heard of. You're like, where in the world you became part of this party? Um, and also, your spouse will always make sure to keep a close eye on you. They always tend to keep a close eye on you. They always try to check your phone. They want to make sure, why are you going to the office on Saturday? So they always try to keep that eye on you. But especially through the spouse, like I said, the lion and lioness story that plays out through marriage, especially, such people can attain huge properties, big properties, and they usually tend to also have a very cordial relationship with their in-laws. But in-laws are very careless, carefree. In-laws are like in their own world. When you meet them, they're like, yeah, whatever. There's no like, your in-laws may not take, or your spouse's family in general may not take things too seriously in their life. They won't be saying, oh, he hasn't come for this religious activity. What is going on? Does he like us? If you don't come, they're like, hey, we'll see you next time. And usually your in-laws will be very spiritually very intuitive. Like your mother-in-law could be a bhakt of Krishna, bhakt of Christ. And some of the things that they say, you're like, wow, you're a saint. And usually what happens with Leo Navamsa people, either they go full-fledged towards one religion, one belief system, or they tend to create their own belief system, but it'll be only through the if through the involvement of the spouse. Like these people either become very adventurous towards wanting to know all religion, or they become very hardcore, very strong-minded about, okay, this is who I am and that's what I'm going to believe. That's right. And what they're going to do, they're going to try to spread that fire of their belief system to everybody that they meet in life. So yes, they can come out very arrogant, maybe a little bit ignorant sometimes. For them, their own belief system is their only thing. But the thing is, people always tend to find your marriage very stable. Even if it's a disaster through some planetary placement, people always look at your marriage as like something which is very comfortable and stable and very soft in nature. Like, for example, I can actually tell you just from our own family friends back in the late 90s or early 2000s, we run into family friends and then they suddenly disappear. So this couple used to come always to our house for dinner every 2 3 weeks. They used to also do like singing, like they used to bring a karaoke thing, and all the other relatives came, saw them, heard them singing. Um, Out of nowhere, we find out that they got divorced. And apparently the problem was brewing for 6 years. And that's the type of situation, because see, for us, there were like a happy, secure, you know, comfortable couple, but you just didn't see that what was brewing inside. Um, but these people always make tremendous amount of friends, and especially their spouse's friends may become their best friend also. Like for them, the social circle is very important. They like to be surrounded by connections, not only their own pride, like these such people would want to have 4 kids, 3 kids at least, but also they want to have all the network circles, connections, and they love communicating with people and going to events. Remember what I said about Leo Ascendant? The very first thing, they have to attend events. They love planning. Okay, it's Friday's coming up. Okay, so are we going to any black and a black tie ball? Are we going to this person's engagement party? Are we going to this new restaurant opening? Let's do it. Hey, let's call everybody. Let's rent a limo. Let's go. And at the same time, such people will be very emotionally attached to giving donations. For them, there's a very strong, deep connection to wanting to give money away. They may have their S Class Mercedes, they may have their big home, but equally, the reason why they have it is because they give their money away with their heart. They're like, this school for girls needs $20,000, otherwise, their door will be closed. All right, I'll write a check, whatever. So if the emotional connection is there, they can give their entire wealth if they wanted to. Because the lion, you got to understand, lion knows that if he loses a prey, if he loses, let's say lioness is chasing a deer, they all ran away. That does not mean that the lioness is done. She dies and she's no longer the queen of the jungle, the hunter of the jungle. Oh no, he may just wait for 3 or 4 hours, see another herd coming, and goes after them. Just watch National Geographic Discovery. You will see that behavior. So one thing about these people is that when they lose anything in their life, they don't feel like, oh, I'm dead, I'm finished, I'm done. They are able to transform their assets. Through losses, they may actually get even more. So if loss happens, these people will be the last one to be thinking like, oh no, what am I going to do now? Life is over, this and that. Those people who open up a company, the company goes bankrupt. 3, 4 companies go bankrupt, but they still somehow always make it, because the lion knows, I am the king of this jungle, and just because I lost for the last 2 days, that doesn't mean that it's over. I will find something, I will hunt something down in the third day, fourth day. And that's why they never lose, because they don't lose that hope by losing that one prey that they lost. That one opportunity that made them lose their money. Like, okay, all right, yeah, we lost it. All right, let's work on something else. Let's do this, let's do this. So they're, like I said, they're very calculated with their money. They know, if the rainy day comes, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that. So if I lost my money, that's fine. I will be able to transform my wealth. So that's what Leo Navamsa does in a person's chart. Um, but most definitely, the planetary placement will completely change the angle of some of these trajectory that I was telling about. Because a Leo ascendant, maybe you can figure out a planetary placement before I cover them. Sometimes a Leo ascendant will set such strict rules within their home that they may, instead of a lion, they look like a T-Rex, worse than the lion. So it's not like they're always That same, but that foundation is the same, that I am the king and I don't care. But certain lines will be like, I'm the king, but I'm still going to be doing this to you, and I'm still going to be, you know, putting you on my throne for that evening that you're coming. But I'm the king. But then someone will be like, no, this is my throne. You sit there. That's where you belong. That's the difference that you will find. So it won't be completely opposite. It's just that how the king is reacting. King will never say, I'm the slave. King will be like, no, 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 no. You're my counselor. You're my astrologer. Please come and sit. This is you. But everybody knows king is the king. So that is what Leo Navamsha does. Okay. Wow. So I thought I was going to take longer for this. Now I can actually go and sleep. Look at my eyes. Do you see like redness on my eyes? It's not red right now, but man, look at this. I'm a complete mess. I'm a complete review. Woo! So anyway, guys, that was my thing. And then tomorrow or maybe tonight, maybe after I finish this video, I'll try to upload it. It's almost midnight here. But tomorrow I'm going to be posting a video of Dr. Arjun Pai. He's going to be showing you guys some crazy stuff. And boy, it is amazing. First, he will show you how to predict without, first of all, Dr. Arjun Pai is going to show you guys the secret way of studying a chart. And there's this other tool that he's going to show you that he uses to make brilliant predictions without even planets. Then he's going to reveal something about nakshatras. That is a big, big thing. So it's all coming tomorrow or tonight. Okay, so anyway, guys, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know what your Navamsha is, all my books, reports, my Navamsha consultations, check out the links below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow or tonight. Bye-bye.